Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of all ages. I am Natanis Likens. How is everybody doing today? Today I've got a little bit of an idea that we are going to try and do and just see how well this works out. So basically, what we are going to do is we are going to go back in time and we are going to play the original Red and Blue. Specifically, we are going to be playing Red. And I have a reason for this, and that is I've heard several people say that the best starter to take for Red and Blue in the Kanto region is actually Bulbasaur. And if you've been around my channel at all, you'll know that I hate grass types. I don't care for them. They are kind of pointless in my opinion. So, we are going to take Bulbasaur as our first Pokemon and go from there. The plan is that Bulbasaur and Ivysaur and Venusaur is literally just going to sit there in our party. In fact, it will probably stay a Bulbasaur. All right, here we go. This is going to be a nostalgia trip because I haven't touched this game in a very long time, and this is an emulated version, so I don't know how well this is going to work out either. Because there are some things that Cerebi.net says about the original games and some of the creatures that I don't think is correct. But it's been a very long time since I've played any of these. We're going to see how this goes and everything. And we are going to use my name. So here we go. I had to go through and set up all the controls and everything because I don't usually use a controller on my PC. So all the controls for the actual controller were just an absolute mess. So I had to go through it, like, arrange all of them and get all that going. So there we go. We are Natanis, and here's our rival. Now, I'm gonna put a name in there, and this is the whole reason why we are doing this. And it is not really going to be one person. This is technically two people. So we are going to put in M and J. And this is not specific to Mikey, per se. Actually, let's just go ahead. We got the space. We're going to do M and J TV. Yeah, sure, why not? So this is not going to be specifically to Mikey. It's really supposed to be to Mikey and John. This is kind of a thing that I thought I would do for both of them. They are not actually my rivals. I have no connection to them, and if they got a problem with it, well, whatever. I don't really care. But the reason I am doing this is because Mikey constantly says that Bulbasaur is the best Kanto starter, and I want to prove him wrong by basically grabbing Bulbasaur and then never using it. Yep, here he comes. Professor Oak. Hello, Professor Oak. One day I'm coming for your job. I'm going to be Professor Likens. Here we go. This is what we want. We're going to grab the Bulbasaur. Like I said, we're going to have this on our team, and it's just going to sit there. I think probably what I'm going to do is use it as a HM cut on it. I don't know if we can put strength on Bulbasaur, but we probably will try something. This is the first thing that jumped in my head. We're going to call him Larry. Larry the Bulbasaur. And Larry's just going to sit there for forever and never really be used. Tackle and Growl. Okay, so we're going to use like 2 Growls here. Its Growl failed on me. Okay, so we got two Growls going. We're going to start using Tackle. And hopefully we can just power through this. We'll see. Okay, so he's lowering my attack. He finally lowered my attack. It's weird that missed a couple times. That is really weird that it's missing that much. Growl again, and we should... Yep. Okay, we got it. Let's go on. Larry grew to level 6. Yay! We beat M&J TV. And again, that's not to be confused with just Mikey. That is both Mikey and John. So that's M&J and PM7. Just so everybody knows. Alright. So let me get through some of the early game stuff, and then we will go off and we will catch some Pokemon. And I will bring you guys back in for that as soon as I get to that point. Alright, so we're over here, Route 22, and we got an Nidoran female here. We're going to try and catch this. And this is one of 3 Pokemon we're going to try and catch here. Hopefully we can get them. I did just get my Pokeballs. I haven't done the little tutorial on how to catch Pokemon yet, which I don't know if you get more Pokemon from that. Pokeballs from that. Okay, so we're at a good chunk of health there. We might be able to catch this Nidoran female. Oh, wrong thing. So, Pokeball, let's go. I've only got 15, so hopefully we can get this in, like, a couple of Pokeballs. Alright, we got it. So, that's one down. It's not the best one. This one's not going to last very long. We'll keep the female for a little while, but not as long as the male. The male's probably going to stay on the team the entire game. Okay, nickname. We're gonna call it Sakura. Why not? That's the first name that jumped in my head that I thought would be worthy. So we got Sakura, the Nidoran female. Let's go around and see if we can find some more here. So here's Nidoran male. That's actually what I'm looking for. Would like to have that. And now, according to Cerebi, Mankey is not here. But I distinctly remember being able to get a Mankey and using it against Brock. So let's just give it a few minutes to see if we can catch this little guy here. And then we will move on from this one. Alright. So he's at a good health for catching. 1, 2, 3, and we got it. We got Nidoran male. Alright. We got it. And that's another thing that doesn't seem right either, is it says that he doesn't learn double kick until like level 43. And again, that's something I distinctly remember being able to use when I was a kid. Alright, let me go heal these guys up, and I'll keep looking to see if there is, in fact, a Mankey over here. Because I do remember being able to get one and having it on the team this early. I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, so here we are. We're in Viridian Forest. Yeah, I didn't see a Mankey anywhere, so we are just going to go in here. We're going to catch a few Pokemon and make our way through, and even do some leveling, which is going to take a very, very long time, because I remember this being the worst grind in order to take on Brock at the very beginning of the game. But we gotta do it, so let's just get to it. Alright, and it looks like our first catch up here is going to be a Caterpie, hopefully. Assuming we don't accidentally knock it out. And hopefully we don't. But Butterfree is a good Pokemon to have for this early encounter, especially considering it, once you get it up to Butterfree, it does learn Concussion at some point, which is going to be very helpful because it is a Psychic type move. Though it's not going to be extremely helpful, it is going to be helpful. Okay, we got Caterpie. What are we gonna name it? Yeah, first thing that comes to mind is just Buggy. So I guess Buggy is what we're gonna call it. Buggy it is. We're gonna have Buggy the Caterpie. It's gonna sit in the back lines for a minute. And we got a couple more to try and catch. And actually, like, I preferred going to this corner to do this. I don't know why. I always had more luck in this corner with finding a Pikachu. It's not going to be helpful for Brock, but it is going to come in handy for fighting Misty. And hopefully it doesn't take us very long to find it. Well, we found a Weedle. Weedle's going to be helpful. Sort of. Weedle's more or less going to be like another Pokemon to have on the team. It's going to be like a sacrificial lamb. And then once we get the $500 Magikarp, we can just get rid of the Weedle. And the Beedrill. It's mostly getting those two this early, than going through the trouble of power leveling them is for Dex. No other reason. It's just getting the Dex completed. It's just for the Dex entries, because these are some of the easiest Pokemon to level, though it does take forever doing it here. And mind you, in this game, we only get experience for defeating Pokemon, not for catching them. Let's see, Weedle. Yeah, we'll do this. It's not exactly correct, but it's a good name. We're gonna go for Ringo, the Weedle. And the logic on there, as I was trying to think real quick of a name, was Weedle the Beetle. And then I was like, well, it's not really a beetle. How about we just go for Ringo? Yeah, there we go. We got Ringo the Weedle. Yeah, the word association there is kind of a little bit weird. I don't know what I was thinking. Weedle the Beetle. And then I made the jump from Beetle to Ringo. But it is what it is. We ended up naming this Weedle Ringo. Let's continue on with the rest of the playthrough. Okay, so we finally got a Pikachu to show up. Finally, level 3, so it's kind of weak, but that's better than not finding one. And hopefully we can catch this, because they are super rare. And it paralyzed us, as long as we don't accidentally poison it. Because if we poison it, that's going to be a problem. But so far, I haven't seen poison go off at all. Oh, don't knock it out. Don't knock it out. Don't knock it out. Don't knock it out. Okay. Fully paralyzed. Might as well switch. Go into Buggy. I hate to actually do that because it's not a good combo there. Alright, it's just Thunder Shocking. We just need to get its health down a little bit lower. We'll try it there. So, send out the Pokeball. 2, 3, we got it. Okay, cool. The mouse Pokemon, yay. Even though we have several mice come out later. I'm just gonna do the old-fashioned, the old name that I used a long time ago for Pikachu, Static. Yes, that's right. You heard me. We're naming the Pikachu Static. This is a name that I used to use back in the original games all the time for electric types, and Pikachu being static just made sense back then. I mean, it's static electricity. Like, who wouldn't name an electric type static? It seems a bit cliche, but that's what I did. Alright, so now we're moving on to the Pewter City Gym and to face Brock. And I'm recording this because I kept saying the wrong thing. I keep saying that Butterfree has concussion instead of confusion. I don't know what to say. I guess I was just confused. I've done as much as I can. Let's see what we can do here. Putting Beedrill in the front is not really a good thing. I want to try and do as much damage to the Geodude as possible. Geodude only has tackle and defensive curl, so we're just going to spam Fury Attack and do as much damage to this Geodude as we can. We don't have any super effective damage, so we're just kind of dealing with what we got. And of course I missed straight off the bat. Of course it's not very effective, it's a rock. Yeah, this isn't going to do a whole lot. I'm not expecting it to. All I'm really doing, like, Beedrill's just a sacrificial... It's a sacrificial lamb. We're just trying to do as much damage as we can. The two that we have the best chance with beating Brock with are Butterfree with its concussion and Nidoran with its physical damage. But it's more than likely going to be Butterfree with concussion. That's the MVP here. Simple as that. I mean, there's just no getting around that. And this is going to take a minute. So we just got to keep plugging and plugging, and he tackled. Yeah. We don't have any kind of moves that we could possibly use. And I know, like, you may be thinking, why don't you grab a Rattata or a Pidgey? Well, in both cases, Pidgey is not going to be much better than Beedrill against Brock. The same thing with Rattata. It's a normal type, and it would take far, far too long to try and get any of Rattatat's good moves. There's just no getting there with Rattata. It's just not possible. Now, I will say that because we did take Bulbasaur, a lot of people are probably going to be like, use the Bulbasaur, it's really good. The whole point of this is to show that you don't need Bulbasaur. And the whole point is to also show that later in game, it doesn't matter. You really either need the Squirtle or the Charmander. And I, for one, say the Charmander. And the reasoning for this is water Pokemon are a dime a dozen. They're like everywhere. So you really don't need the Squirtle. Grass Pokemon are even worse. Like, they are everywhere. And there's all sorts of different types with different utilities and everything. So taking the Bulbasaur is also ridiculous. Like, there's no point in it. As far as fire types, there aren't that many fire types. They're spread out to a couple of different areas. So trying to get a fire type is the most difficult part of finding any type in this game. Except for maybe Psychic. Because, let's see, fire types. You have Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. You only get one chance to get that. Then you have Growlithe and Arcanine. And depending on which version you have, red or blue, you may have access to Vulpix and Ninetales. And of course that misses. So, yep, there goes Beedrill. And then you also have access to Magmar. I don't want to use you yet. We're just going to go ahead. We're going to use Sakura. And then Moltres is the final fire type you can get. But Moltres is a legendary. It's way after pretty much everything is done in the game. especially after the grass trainer. So really your best bet for fire is getting a Growlithe. And I'm sorry, but Growlithe and Arcanine aren't exactly huge in this game. Like, there's a reason that I stuck with Charizard for so many years. And I've never been a fan of Magmar. I don't like the fire duck. It's just ridiculous looking. And then as far as Ninetales, again, that's like, it's version dependent. So if you have one version, it's only in one of the versions. I think Ninetales is actually in Fire Red. Fire Red? I think it's in Red. Because I was looking earlier, I wanted to get a Meowth, and Meowth is not in Red. Meowth is in Blue. So that kind of was like, wait, what? When I saw that. Okay, so here comes the Onix, and this is where we are going to have the most trouble. Pretty much I'm going to sacrifice Sakura, and we are just going to growl and growl and growl, and we're just going to try and reduce its damage output as much as possible. This is going to be a war of attrition here. So it's going to be me doing like ping damage, like just ping, 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 for a very long time. And that's one thing I do want to point out. You may notice that Sakura is level 12, Kenshin is level 12. They did not get double kick. I'm completely wrong about that. They don't get double kick. So it must be that they get it at like level 43 in their first stage, and then level 50 in their second stage. So Nidorino. I don't think Nidoran female actually gets it. I think that's only reserved for the Nidoran male. And so we're just going to keep doing this until we see that it's not going to affect Onix. I'm just going to keep growling. Okay, so there we go. Nothing happened. We're going to start using Scratch. And it's still going to be doing a lot more damage to it than we are doing to... It's going to be doing a lot more damage to us than we are doing to it, so... Yeah, hit us with a critical, so that kind of sucks. I am worried about taking a critical hit here, so... One thing I'm thinking of doing, I know I said in previous clips that we are going to leave the Bulbasaur on our team. Just to have room for all 6, I may just get rid of the Bulbasaur altogether. Okay, we're going to go ahead, we're going to switch. I don't want to use Buggy just yet, I want to get more damage in on it, so we're going to switch to Kenshin. And we're going to start using Horn Attack, or actually, let's start using Leer on this. We'll use a few Leers, try to drop its defense as much as possible. So we're going to do this until we don't have... Until we get the nothing happens message. We'll just keep leering. And then I'll start throwing horn attacks at it. And like I said, our last resort is going to be Butterfree with its... with its concussion. That should be the last one. I don't think it will go... Yeah, it's not going to do anything. Okay, no. It's another one. Defense fell. Luckily, it doesn't have anything to increase its defense. Okay, there we go. Now it's done. So let's start using Horn Attack. And hopefully we're going to be doing more damage to it than it's doing to us. Not really, but it is doing more. And I'd really like Kenshin to get all the experience here, even though, you know, Sakura's going to get some, but I really want Kenshin to be our ace, so I really would like him to get more experience here. Hopefully we don't have to bring in a third Pokemon, and we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Oh, except for that might... Dang. Yep, that's kind of... I didn't even realize that was coming. Okay, so we're going to switch into Buggy. And we got concussion on him, or confusion. And so this should work really well. Yep, and there you go. And down goes the Onyx. We didn't need the grass type, we didn't need the water type. It would have been easier, yes. I thoroughly agree with that statement. The point that I'm trying to make is that for the early game, you don't necessarily need them. They are not the best choice for the rest of the game either. So there you go. We've got Brock down. We've got our first badge. Okay, I need to point out that obviously my knowledge is not exactly all there. Like, there's a whole bunch of this. We're talking about Gen 1. It's at least 30 years old at this point. Like, having to think about this stuff and remember exactly what these games were like and some of the facts about them is way out of my mind. Like, it is, I've forgotten so much of it that it's hard to actually remember certain things. And I have noticed inconsistencies on Cerebi before, so trying to remember things and it not lining up with what Cerebi has, when I know Cerebi in the past has been wrong about certain things. In fact, there's a clip later down the line where I'm talking about our rival's team. Cerebi has Charizard labeled as Charmander. Okay? So yes, there's a lot of things that are a little bit messed up and I'm having to remember as I go. So please bear with me throughout the rest of the episode because I'm still going to get things wrong as I am remembering them and as I am seeing them for the first time in almost 30 years. So yeah, bear that in mind. As for now, we are going to go ahead. We're going to skip over the Mountain Moon portion of the gameplay. Like, I did record taking on the Team Rocket Grunts, but we're going to skip over that. And I think we're going to skip over the Team Rocket Grunt with the Golden Nugget. And we're just going to go straight to Misty. How does that sound? Does that sound good to you? Because that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so rival battle. Here we go. Ah, yeah. I forgot that there's a rival battle before Misty. Alright, M&J, what you got for me? What you got? So, I've got all my Pokemon to level 16, except for Finfang. We did get a Clefairy and, oh my gosh, Pidgeotto at level 18. What the heck? Okay, let's try. We're gonna Thunder Wave it first, see if we can get paralyzed. Okay, so we're getting it paralyzed. Good. Sand attack, it's hitting my Pikachu. Alright. And then let's go start throwing some thunder. And it's gonna use a quick attack and instead of being paralyzed. Great. And then we miss. Okay. Cool. And then another quick attack. And our Pikachu's already down. Wow. Like, what the heck? Why is this thing so over-leveled? I don't really have much to deal with this thing. And it's not getting paralyzed. Like, what is the point? This is why I don't use status moves. Okay? Like, that thing, and we've missed. Okay, cool. So, Pound, please have paralyze. Yes. Okay. No Pound again. Nothing to do with it there. It's gonna Gust. That's gonna do quite a bit of damage, actually. Let's see if we can get through you at all. Okay, nothing there. And another quick attack from you. Instead of being paralyzed, we've gotten one full paralyze out of this so far. Just one. Okay, that's two. And I missed. And quick attack. Okay, cool. So we lost two Pokemon now. And this Pidgeotto is still standing. Alrighty. Let's just go into Buggy. I really want to save Buggy for later. Okay, Pidgeotto's down, finally. Okay, an Abra. We're just gonna go into Kenshin here. Just because. It's an Abra. I don't think it's got Confusion yet. Level 15, I don't think it's got Confusion. If I'm lucky, all this thing has is Teleport. And hopefully I can get through this guy without much hassle. Okay, 2 attacks. The Abra is gone. Kenshin is now level 17. Perfect. Rattata. Let's just go ahead and get into Sakura, because if this thing has Hyper Fang, that's going to be a problem. And I don't think Poison Sting's gonna do a whole lot to it. Yeah, let's just go ahead and start scratching at it. So it's gonna Tail Whip, but it failed. Okay, scratch. How much damage we doing? Not bad. Oh, it's got Quick Attack though. Okay, so the damage output is about the same. And it seems like I am faster. Nope, it's Quick Attack again. Am I going to survive the Rattata? It missed. Okay, yes, okay. So, Rattata is down. Sakura took it out. Yay, okay. Now, here is the problem child. And this is what I want Buggy for. So, we're gonna poison the Charmander. And then just see if we can spam Concussion on it. Confusion. Correction. Confusion. So, Poison Powder. Perfect. We got it. It's going to Leer, and we are just going to start spamming Confusion. Now, unlike more modern games, Poison doesn't stack over time. It's going to do the same amount of damage regardless. Okay, so we're getting a double thing. It got confused and hurt itself, and now it's getting poisoned. Perfect. And it hurt itself again. And that's it. The rival is done. There was no need for that. It was already out. It literally went into the negative there. So there we go. Our rival is done. Take that, Inman J. Yes. Take that, Mikey and John. As if a threat from a small YouTuber is actually going to mean anything to you or to your fans. Let's just get on with Misty, alright? That's what we're here for. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at Misty, and before we do this battle, let's go over our team. So, we got Buggy in the lead at level 20. This is probably going to be our best bet with a combination of Poison Powder and Confusion. Should get us pretty far through it. Then we got Sakura. She's up at level 20. She is still Nidoran female. We are trying to level both her and Kenshin up all the way to 43 so that we get double kick. So we just got to keep them at their base form, which is going to be kind of annoying for a very long time. But once we get the double kick, it's going to be so worth it. Static is also at level 20. Pikachu's just going to be chilling, hiding out for a little while. If we have to use Pikachu, we will. Toot, our Clefairy is also at level 20, and then Kenshin, the Nidoran male, is at level 22. Again, I do want to try and push this one to be our 8th, and that is basically where we at. Now, you may notice that I skipped over Finfang, and if you don't notice, his icon has changed. That is because he is no longer the weak little Magikarp. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Finfang, the Gyarados. Yes, that was very hard for me to say for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, let's get on with this. Again, my plan is to just use Buggy with a combination of Poison and Confusion against Misty. And we're going to see how this works out. It should work pretty good. I'm obviously a little bit nervous, mostly because it's been a long time since I played this, and I don't remember if there's any major tricks other than potential potions coming out. I don't think there's anything to worry about. I didn't really take a good look at it other than to see that her Staryu is level 18 and her Starmie is level 21. So I did have to push the levels really, really hard. Yeah, there we go. Staryu level 18. So we're going to get Buggy in there. First thing we're going to do is use Poison Powder. And just poison the Staryu and then start spamming Confusion. It didn't affect Staryu. Okay, let's try that again. I don't know why it didn't affect Staryu. It should. And it's going to do it again. Okay. So I could try Stun Spore, try to get the Paralyze off her, because I could try Sleep, but we need the Poison Powder to go off. If the Poison Powder doesn't go off, my whole strategy is kind of destroyed here. There it goes. That was kind of worrying me there for a second. I was like, is that actually, like, immune to this? An X defend, that's interesting. So, raise her team's defense. So there we go, we got a little bit of poison damage, and we're going to start doing confusion damage, which is going to basically just nuke the Staryu. So, early game, it's definitely worth grabbing the Caterpie and bringing it all the way up to Butterfree and using it against Misty. Once we're done with Misty, your Butterfree is it's not really going to be useful anywhere else, but up against these first two gym leaders, Brock and Misty, absolutely is worth it. And once again, I'm here to prove a point that you don't really need the Bulbasaur. The Bulbasaur is like the worst. Alright, Water Gun, we're going to try and get the Poison Powder off again. Hopefully Butterfree will hang in there. If not, we still got our Pikachu in reserve. Like I said, Starmie is actually kind of bulky, so it just depends on how much damage we actually do. Oh, we're not even doing that much. Okay, yeah, we're probably going to have to bring in Pikachu. Yep, there goes Buggy. I wasn't expecting that little damage to happen, so we're going to bring in our Pikachu. Starmie is poisoned, so we're going to be doing extra damage there, and it's going to be very susceptible to Thunder Shock, so hopefully this works really well in our favor. So there's the poison damage, just a little dink of damage to it, and Thunder Shock is really not doing as much as I thought it would. Oh, Bubble Beam, this is a stronger version of Bubble, so that's going to do quite a bit of damage. Wow. That almost one-shotted the Pikachu. So from here, I feel like our best options are, we could go into Fin Fang and probably just use Bite a whole bunch and let the poison kind of tick down. We could go into Kenshin, he is a lot stronger. We also could go into Tut Tut. Tut Tut's not really going to give me much of an advantage. We do have Disable and we have Double Slap, but that's about it. Sakura is just going to be using Scratch. It's not really going to be anything amazing there. I'm thinking we're just going to go ahead. We're going to use our Gyarados here. And probably just going to spam Bite. And hope that he can actually hang on until Starmie is down. That is actually really surprising how easily it knocked out Pikachu, but it basically one-shot Pikachu. One Bubble Beam was enough to take out Pikachu. And therein is part of the reason why I don't really rely on Pikachu. Even at level 20, that was way too much damage it did. Pikachu's health pool is just kind of low. But there we go. Misty is done. We took out the Starmie. Yep, so that's 2 badges down. 6 more to go. Okay, I don't know about you, but I was very surprised by that Bubble Beam mostly doing a one-shot on my Pikachu. Like, that was very surprising. And, you know, that's part of the reason why I don't really use Pikachu, is Pikachu is a very low health Pokemon as far as an electric type is concerned, and it's way too easy to actually knock it out. So even if you get it like faster, its health pool is so small that I don't really rely on it too much, and I'd rather something a little bit bulkier, which is why we're going to be getting Jolteon later on in the video. Now, up next, I would say, is the next gym leader, and that would be Lieutenant Surge, but M and J have come back from the grave. Alright, so we are back, and we've got the very next rival battle up ahead. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. I don't think that I rearranged my Pokemon. No, I didn't, because I want static in the front. You can see that we've done a little bit of grinding between clips. That's mostly because it was the weekend and nothing else I could do except for like grind. So that's exactly what I did. We're a little bit far ahead with some of our levels for this particular battle, but it should be fine. So we got Static at level 23, Sakura is at 23, Fin Fang is at 23, Tut Tut is at 23, Harry is now at 24, and Kenshin is now at 27. So we should be able to get through this rival battle fairly easily. I think the highest he has is like level 20. I think. I'm not looking at the strategy right in front of me, so yep, this should be fairly easy. So I do know that his team for this round is going to consist of Pidgeotto, Raticate, Charmeleon, and I believe this is going to be the first instance of his Gyarados. I'm not entirely sure on that one. It's either his Gyarados. No. This is where he's got his Kadabra at this point. Okay, so like I thought, Pidgeotto's up in front. We got Static. Hopefully we can use Static to take out this very easily, because last time Pidgeotto gave us a little bit of trouble, and Static unfortunately didn't survive his encounter. So far, so good. We did quite a bit of damage. Oh, and there's a quick attack. Hopefully it doesn't knock out. Nope, okay. Again, we are over-leveled, but that's because I didn't have anything better to do. So there we go. Down goes this Pidgeotto. And up next, what are we going to see? It's his Raticate. Now, Raticate should have Hyper Fang. Pikachu's already kind of low health. I'm thinking that we're gonna go with Harry on this one, because Raticate with this Hyper Fang is gonna be kind of troublesome. So we're just gonna use Harry and just all out use Confusion on this. And hopefully this will work pretty good, because if we don't one-shot it or two-shot it, okay, so we one-shot it. I was a little bit concerned that we may get hit with a couple of Hyper Fangs, but nah. We absolutely destroyed it with Confusion. It is lower level. He's bringing out his own Kadabra. Now, the problem with using a Psychic against a Psychic is we're not really going to do that much damage. And I don't have any kind of physical attack on him. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to switch into Tut Tut. Remember, this is Gen 1. The very first games, we do not have the Dark type available. So even though I have Bite on Fin Fang, it's not going to do us any good. So my thought here is we are going to try and put this thing to sleep. Luckily, it's trying to use Teleport, apparently. Okay, so we're going to put it to sleep. I have Double Slap, and we're just going to see if we can Double Slap this thing till it faints. And then all that is left is his Charmeleon, which we will bring out Fin Fang for. Fin Fang 4. Try saying that 5 times fast. Fin Fang 4, Fin Fang 4, Fin Fang 4, Fin Fang 4, Fin Fang 4. So Double Slap is putting in some work against that. Okay, it didn't take it out. We should be able to take it out with another one. I'm just going to use Pound. Yeah, it's not going to matter. It's fast asleep. Pound may... Yes, it is going to do exactly enough damage to take it out in one hit. So now we've got its Charmeleon. As I said, we're going to bring out Fin Fang. And we should be able to just slap his Charmeleon around with Fin Fang. Unfortunately, the only thing we have access right now as far as water types is Water Gun. So, it still should be just as effective. And that should be it. There we go. We are done with the rival battle. Like, not even that difficult. We didn't really even need anything other than what we already have. And this team is not going to change a whole lot. There are a couple things we're going to add to. We need to get a fire type, and then at some point I would like to get a Dratini on there, and then eventually we will have access to Eevee so I can get Jolty on. Aha! Down goes MNJ. Up next, we need to take on Lieutenant Surge. Alright, so here we are. We're at Lieutenant Surge's gym, and this is the most annoying gym in all of Pokemon history. If you have never played this, let me explain what's about to happen. There are 2 switches inside of one of these trash cans. And you have no idea where they are. They are completely and utterly random. And you have to flip both of them. Anytime you flip one and then you miss it, it moves. You have no idea where it is. And the thing about it is the switch will always be beside the other switch. So if I pick this trash can, I could go here, and it could possibly be here, or here, or here, or here. There's no way to know. In fact, until I find the switch, I don't know where it's at. And if I miss the second switch, it changes locations, okay? This is the single most annoying Pokemon gym in all of Pokemon. And it has been referenced in just about every game since then. So let's just get the search on with, because I'm going to do this in real time. I have no idea how long this is going to take. And we're just going to keep on searching here and searching here and searching here until we find at least one switch and hope that we get the other one. This is literally a luck draw. Like, you have no idea where it's going to be. You just have to get lucky. And so far, we have no luck. There hasn't been in any of those over there. Okay, so there's the switch. So it's a 50-50 shot on whether it's this one or this one. And, let's just go with this one. No, it is not that one. It should have been... Yep, and the lock reset. Great. So, now we gotta go through and check every single trash can all over again. Every single one of them. And this used to drive me crazy as a child. So, Mikey had put out a video of, like, the most annoying things that you've ever done in the game, or things that you shouldn't have done. Okay, here's a switch. And, this should have been amongst the most annoying thing. Okay, it's not that one. This should have been amongst the most annoying things in all of Pokemon. Because the fact that the switch resets each time you get it wrong is just annoying. Okay, so here's one. It's either going to be the one up above me, or it's going to be this one. We're going to go with this one. No, it was the one above me. Great. There's no pattern to it either. There's no way of knowing where it's going to be next. You just gotta keep searching and keep hoping that you find it and get the second switch correct. And oh my gosh, it's such a tedious thing. And again, this is completely luck based. There is no, like, strategy for this. There's no, hey, if it's over here, check this corner, or if it's up there, check the bottom corner, or if it's in the middle, check to your left. There's no strategy to this. It is completely and utterly random. It is just pure luck, and I have no idea where the switch even is this time. Okay, so where did it go? It's not there. Did it go right back to its same location? Did it go back down to the corner? No, not there. It somehow went back to the corner. Okay. So maybe it's the one above me this time. Of course it's not the one above me, it's now that one. Well, okay, back to the drawing board. We just gotta keep searching. This is so frustrating. Like, I am so glad they never did anything like this again. I definitely prefer more of the puzzle type ones that make you think about what to do. Some of the newer ones are just... they're boring, in my opinion. Just straight up, they're boring. I haven't really cared about the gyms too much in the recent years, which is why I haven't really memorized any of them, because they're not really memorable. They're either, like, boring little nothing burgers, or they're just straight lines where you just walk all the way down till you meet the gym leader. You may have to battle some trainers along the way, and that's about it. Like the Dark Gym and Sword and Shield was that way. Like, you just walk down the corridor, you fight some Team Yell members, and that's about it. That's all you do. There's nothing there. In fact, the gyms in Sword and Shield are kind of bland. They didn't really do a whole lot with it. I don't know why they got away from the puzzles, because they aren't really puzzles in that one. They're just like little weird sports things. And I know that that's got an aesthetic of being like soccer or football if you live somewhere else in the world. Let's check this one. Nope, not that one. No telling which one it could have been just then. But I like the ones that have actual puzzles that make you think. Yeah, sure, you can pull up a strategy guide and everything and I'll tell you, but I would prefer finding the solution myself. Okay, so this is it here. And it's got 4 locations it could be in. We could be in this one, could be in this one, we could be here. Let's check this one. Oh, there we go. There we go. So that's the door. We got it. We finally got it. Luckily, that door doesn't close once you open it. Once you open it, it's good and it stays open. So, let's talk about strategy here, because my strategy for this is we are going to go in guns blazing. We are going to have Kenshin front and center, and Lieutenant Surge's first Pokemon is a Voltorb. So we should be able to take out the Voltorb pretty easily. Luckily, this is Gen 1, so the Steel type doesn't exist, meaning that Voltorb is not a Steel type. Neither is Magnemite, so if you ever play these games, know that. That type is not a thing, so you don't have to worry about it. But as far as the rest of his team, he has a level 18 Pikachu and then a level 24 Raichu. The Pikachu knows Thunder Wave, I think Growl, Quick Attack, and Thunder Shock, if I recall correctly. I was looking at it just a few minutes ago. And then his Raichu knows Thunderbolt, Thunder Shock, Thunder Wave, and I think like Growl or something. It doesn't have Quick Attack. So my plan for this is actually we're going to use Tut Tut on his Raichu. The reason for it is when we hit level 24, our Clefairy learned Minimize. And I'm thinking like we throw a few Minimize out there and his Raichu shouldn't be able to hit us. We can just double slap it till it faints. As far as the others, we're just going to like we're just going to use Kenshin and hopefully destroy him. Very, very quick and easy. I want to get through this without any stress, so hopefully we can do that. Alright, here it comes. Let's see what we got here. I know the Voltorb is higher level than the Pikachu. I think it was like 19 or something. 21, so much higher than I thought. I think that means that I'm wrong on the Pikachu. It's probably like level 18 or something. Yeah, we're just going to Horn Attack. We don't have to worry about the Steel typing at all, so that's not even going to come into play. It's just straight up an Electric type in this, so... And that nearly one-shot it. Okay. Yeah, we'll just Horn Attack again. I kind of wish we had Quick Attack, but we can't learn Quick Attack in Gen 1. Actually, I'm not even sure if we can learn Quick Attack at all. I know in Gen 1 it can't, for sure. I know their charts changed later on. Okay, so here comes the Pikachu. I'm not really too concerned with the Pikachu. Yeah, level 18. That's why it's weak. It's not going to be much of a threat to me. Especially considering that I over-leveled for this. Okay, for the Raichu, we are definitely going to switch into Tut. And the reason that I want to do this is because that Thunderbolt that it has can do quite a bit of damage. And I'm hoping I get off enough minimizes to not have to worry about taking damage. So it's a critical. We're going to minimize, hopefully 4 times is my plan. Okay, so it's going to miss the Thunderbolt. We're going to minimize again. So our evasion's gone up even higher. And it's going to land the Thunderbolt. I was hoping to get a little bit further with that. That probably is going to knock out Tut. Yep. Yep, it did. So, we haven't done any damage to it yet. The next thing I want to try, I was really hoping that that was going to work. We're just going to spam Poison Sting until either we knock it out or that. That happened way too quick. Okay, we're going to growl a couple times. Because this is going to allow us to take a few more hits from it. And I want to remind everybody that poison in Gen 1 does not stack. It doesn't compound and get stronger and stronger and stronger. There's no ramp-up damage in Gen 1. It's a flat amount of damage. Still did quite a bit of damage to me. It's fine. So hopefully it's not going to be okay. Took out Sakura, but it is still poisoned. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna switch into Kenshin, and we're just gonna start spamming Horn Attack. With the higher level, I think we should be able to survive a few hits. And we should be able to, like, whittle down its health pretty well. Looks like we may have to hit it twice. Hopefully that doesn't... That's very close. And we became paralyzed. Great. Okay, here's hoping that we... Nope. Okay, so we're gonna have to take this thing out with Harry. Hopefully we can take this out with Harry. And with the critical hits again, we are just getting critted left and right throughout this playthrough. And there we go, we've got Lieutenant Surge beat. So, again, you can get through this. It may have been a little bit better if we had ground or grass type Pokemon, but it is possible to get through there. And that wasn't exactly difficult either. We were just getting really bad rolls, like all the crits that kept happening, and the damage output that we were getting hit by. Honestly, him hitting us on a second minimize is BS. I never get that lucky in these games. Like, once minimize starts rolling, it's just like, it just isn't even worth it anymore. Okay, so after beating Lieutenant Surge, you can either go straight to the next gym leader, which is Erica, or you can go off and take on Team Rocket. And in this particular instance, let's just get on with taking on the gym leader. Let's go fight Erica. Okay, so on to the next gym, we have Erica, and Erica is gonna prove kind of a problem because she has 2 of her 3 Pokemon at their final stage, so we gotta deal with Vileplume and Victory Bell, all of which know Constrict and Bind, which could be problematic. So, with that being said, I have over-leveled a bit, so her Pokemon are like level 29, pretty much all of them, so I have taken most of my team up to level 30. Kenshin is now at level 36. That's a lot of grinding to do. Fun Guy is unfortunately just our HM cut Pokemon for now, and then we got like a few more that we're gonna get. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do for my HM Pokemon is we're probably gonna get a Lickitung. I did see that Lickitung can have Cut, Surf, and Strength on it, so probably what we're gonna do with there. Anyway, this is what we got going on. I've got Stu the Pidgeotto in the lead. He is probably the one that we are going to take first. Fin Fang and Spark are currently gone. So, yeah, hopefully we can get through this with this team. Now, Erica being a grass type / poison type means that Sakura and Kenshin should be able to do decent damage to them. However, they're in their first forms as opposed to Erica's final form Pokemon, so I'm not feeling too confident about that. That is why Kenshin's actually level 36. And then Tiger here is our new Growlithe. He is on the team, and we've got to take him up to, I think it's like level 40 or something, or maybe 50 before he gets Flamethrower, so we can't evolve him into Arcanine just yet. And this starts part of the problem that I have with taking Bulbasaur. The only fire type that you have access to take on Erica, depending on the version, is either Growlithe or Vulpix. Neither one is something that I would say should be your main fire type for this time period of games, for Gen 1, Red and Blue. Later, it does become a lot better when they get like different move sets, and they've got moves that can kind of cross over and have that coverage that I like to have. But for this, you really need the Charmander. You need the Charmander, you need Charmeleon, or maybe at this point you push like I did with Kenshin, and you've got Charizard. But that's really what you need at this point. And more things coming on that later. So let's just go ahead and actually, before I jump into that, I need to correct something that I said in the earlier clip. There are 4 psychic types that I completely left out of the list. And those are Execute and Executor, and also Slowpoke and Slowbro. I completely forgot about those. Those are not Pokemon I generally think of when I'm thinking of psychic types. There's a reason for that. I don't think they're like the best or anything. Some of their later evolutions, yeah, maybe. Execute, still not really. I really think of grass types when I think about him, so forgetting that he is a psychic type, yeah, you'll have to forgive me on that. But anyway, let's get on with this and take on Eric and see how well we do. I do have Stu in the lead, and I purposely leveled up Stu so that we could get Wing Attack as early as possible, then I let it evolve into Pidgeotto. So, hopefully, having that flying move will save us. I also put Fly on it on accident. Well, not accident, I overwrote Gust. which is fine because then we were able to get wing attack, so not a huge loss there. Though that does go into what Mikey was saying about accidentally overriding something with an HM. Oh well. It's not a move that we really needed. So yeah, we got Victory Bell up first. It's level 29 as you can see. And I'm hoping wing attack is going to be good. We could use fly. I don't think fly is stronger though. I think wing attack's actually stronger. I'll have to look that up later and come back to you guys if that's wrong. Or you'll let me know in the comments. Yeah, the poison may be an issue. That's part of the reason why I kept my 2 poison types. And here we go with the rat. Okay, so this is what I was really concerned with, because now we can't do anything for as long as this lasts. And unfortunately this... Oh. I was going to say, unfortunately there's no way of knowing, but there you go. So, down goes the Victory Bell. That's awesome. And up next we got Tangela. I'm just going to keep Stu in there. Stu's probably going to be the one to sweep Erica, if any of them are going to sweep them. Maybe Kenshin, but I'm not holding my breath on that. There's a constrict. And now we're just stuck in a loop until it ends. Oh. No, Constrict is not the one that prevents me from doing stuff. There's too many Pokemon moves, it's hard to remember all of them, especially the ones that have been removed. And then Bioplume, yeah, we're just gonna go with Stu, and so far so good, like, this has been working out fairly well. And if you're wondering how I was able to level up some of these, because the Pidgey we got at like level 16. There's not a whole lot of areas around here to level. Oh, there's the poison powder. So what I did is I actually took them to the daycare and just put something on and just rode around the daycare for a few hours while I waited on their levels to get high enough. That's pretty much all I did. For Stu, we went to... just before Pidgey gets wing attack. And I don't remember what level that is, so we went to the level before. So if it's level 36, we went to level 35. Sorry, 26. We went to level 25. Okay, there you go. And Erica is down. Okay, now that Erica's done, let's go deal with Team Rocket at the game corner. Alright, we're back a little bit sooner than I would have thought that we would be back, but we're about to fight Giovanni for the first time. And I've got Harry the Kadabra in the lead, so we're gonna go and we're probably just gonna wreck this guy's day. Yeah, that's the plan. Like, maybe. I really think that the Kadabra is just gonna absolutely destroy him. I don't think there's going to be a need for anything else, because he leads off with a Rhyhorn. No, he leads off with an Onyx. He has a Rhyhorn, then a Persian. Yeah, so there we go. There's the Onyx. Shouldn't be any big deal for Harry the Kadabra. Let's just go ahead and get this over and done with. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a cakewalk. But you gotta bring up little things like this, because you never know what's gonna happen. If I exclude every single thing, I may not have a full video. So, some little battles like this is probably worth showing. Now, we will be showing the later rival battle before, I think, the second time you fight Giovanni. Because I think you fight Giovanni like 3 times. The last time being when he's a gym leader. I don't care about recovery. Recoverer. Don't really care. Kangaskhan, that's not what it said. It said Persian. Okay. This should be fine. I think Kangaskhan is highly allergic to Psychic as well. Yeah, pretty dang close to it. We didn't take it out in one hit, but it was pretty close. Man, it did a lot of damage to us in a single hit, though. But there you go, there's Giovanni. And we are done with the Team Rocket hideout. Okay, now that we've dealt with Giovanni and the Team Rocket hideout, it's time to go get the Pokeflute so that we can continue on our journey. And in order to do that, we've got to go over to the Pokemon Tower, which means another fated battle with our rival, M&J TV. Prepare to be annihilated. I am back over here at the tower, and I completely forgot the very first thing that you do here is you fight your rival. This is where you start to see a shift in your rival, and where it's very important which starter you actually choose. Because if you take either Bulbasaur or Charmander, he's going to have two psychic types on his team. And that is, he will have Kadabra or Alakazam, I'm not sure which one is supposed to be at this point, and Executor. So that gives him two psychics on his team. The only way that your rival does not have two psychics on his team is if you pick the Squirtle. That is the only way to avoid having to deal with two psychic types on his team. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't really set up for this, so this could go really badly. We'll see here. Hopefully it doesn't, but I wasn't expecting this to be the very first thing. I thought it was going to be a little while. And when I saw him sitting there, I was like, I'm not sure if that's the rival or not. Sure enough, it's the rival. So let's go, MJ. What you got for it? Pidgeotto right off the bat. So I should have led with Sparks. Okay. That's fine. We got Harry out in the front, so Harry should be able to, for the most part, like, really do some damage to them. I don't think he's going to be able to solo all of them, but he should do some damage. The real problem is if he's got his Alakazam. Execute. Okay, so I've got to switch him out. I can't actually hurt him too much. Simply because, being Psychic type, they kind of resist... Psychic resists Psychic, so it doesn't really do that much damage to it. Hypnosis, we're not going to let that go. And down goes his Execute, and then... Is this his Kadabra or Alakazam coming up next? Gyarados. Okay, we'll go into Sparks. And this should be an easy one-shot. And that right there is exactly why I don't bother with grass types. You really don't need them. Okay, and now it should be... Okay, it's Kadabra. We're gonna let Sparks stay in. Because I think Thunderbolt should be able to... It should be able to KO it. Yeah, there we go. One hit. Okay, perfect. And then finally is his... maybe it's a Charizard by now? No, it's Charmeleon still. So it's the next battle, the one that... I think it's at Silco when we fight him. Where is... That he has, Charizard. And I'll have Executor at that point. As well as Alakazam, I believe. So there's your two problematics with the Psychics. But as you can see, we didn't really have that much issue with him. That is mostly because we're over-leveled for him by quite a bit. But, I mean, you kind of have to be, because in order to beat Erica, you have to have, like, close to level 30 Pokemon. Having defeated my rival M&J TV at the Pokemon Tower, it was time to collect the Pokeflute and move on down to the Safari Zone, wherein I intend to capture a Dratini. And, well, that didn't go so well. Just watch. There's only ever been 2 times in the history of Pokemon that I've been frustrated at catching a Pokemon. The first one is in Red and Blue, where I was trying to catch a Scyther in the Safari Zone, because just getting there is frustrating enough, and then trying to find one and then capture it is its own pain. And then also in Gold and Silver with the legendary dogs. And if you've ever experienced them, you know what I'm talking about. So I was very happy once I finally caught the Dratini. But before that happened, I had posted about my frustration trying to capture a Dratini, and I asked for name suggestions. We only got one name suggestion. Busy Stay 3891. And he said that we should call it Dave. Yep, Dave. So, considering that's the only comment we got, Busy Stay 3891, we're gonna call it Dave. You're the only suggestion we got. And as appreciation for, at least somebody commenting somewhere on my stuff, here you go. Here's Dave. Dave the Dragoneer. It will be a Dragonite at some point, but for now it is a Dragoneer. But there you go. We got Dave the Dragoneer. Even though we only got the one suggestion, I do want to thank that person for at least giving me a suggestion. So Dave the Dragoneer is now part of the team at this point, and will be part of the team for the remainder of the playthrough. Now, on to the next gym battle. We have the Poison Gym and Koga. And this is a kind an odd battle. Like, alright, we are back. We're ready to take on the Poison Gym, Koga. And I think I'm gonna have Dave start us off. Not really sure if that's probably the best plan. Actually, we may do Fin Fang. I've been noticing that Dave is not taking much in terms of poison damage, but Fin Fang has Dragon Fang, so may be able to get us through. Notice we don't have a Psychic type on our team either, so yeah, Psychic is the only one in this generation, this particular game, that is strong against Psychic. There is Ground, but Ground Pokemon are kind of few and far between in this, and I don't like any of them. So we're just going to go ahead, we're going to give this a try, and hopefully Fin Fang's going to get us through this. At least the first couple of them. The only Pokemon I am worried about that he has is Muck. And the reason I'm worried about Muck is it has Minimize. It could become troublesome just to hit the thing. So, here we go. We're going to try this. Starting off with coughing. We're just going to Dragon Rage. That should get us a lot of decent hits in. The thing about Dragon Rage is it's a flat damage. It's only 40 damage. But it's pretty much guaranteed 40. Alright, so now, okay, we're getting hit with the Sludge. Please don't poison. It did not poison. We're just going to tackle. And that's one coughing down. Alright. And here comes the Muck. We aren't going to switch. And hopefully we can just Dragon Rage this thing down before it gets off too many minimizes. Oh, it didn't. It's got a lot more health than I'm thinking it does. Luckily, it didn't use minimize. And we missed. Poison gas is probably going to, yep, poisoned. It's fine. As long as we get through the Muck, we're good. Oh, and it's using X attack, so the Muck's gonna have much higher damage. But we are whittling it down. And hopefully the Sludge wasn't doing much damage, but now think about it. I think it does extra damage when the target is poisoned. Okay, so Muck is down. That's good. We're gonna switch. And I feel like we're just gonna go into Sparks. Because all he should have left is his coughing and a wheezing. And I think Sparks should be able to Thunderbolt both of these down fairly easily. Alright, that was nearly a one-hit KO. Nearly an OHKO. Tackle takes that one down. Simple enough. And then hopefully we still got pretty much our entire team, so this worked very well. Shouldn't be any issues taking this out. It is a much higher level, but okay, give it X attack. I feel like we're gonna be good. Like 3 hits on this thing and it should be gone. Okay, it's doing the Sludge. It might poison, it might not. Okay, it did quite a bit of damage, that's for sure. Boom, and there goes the Weezing. Bada bing, bada boom, there we go. We are now officially 5 badges deep. We got Sabrina to take on, Blaine, and Giovanni before heading to the Pokemon League. So, yeah. One thing we're going to do here is, this is where we get Toxic. I'm going to take Toxic and I'm going to put it on the Nidoqueen. Okay, now we can use Surf outside of battle. Nice. Which I believe the next thing we do after this is probably going to the Power Plant, I think is the next thing that we do. But before we go on to everything else, we're going to put Toxic on Sakura. and get rid of the Poison Sting, because the Poison Sting isn't going to be that useful. It doesn't do a lot of damage. It has a chance to poison. It's not a guarantee. So, there we go. Okay, so the reason I thought that that battle was a bit odd is I remember it being tougher. Like, I remember them being able to poison just about every single member of my team, and trying to get through the poison was a lot more difficult than this was. It almost felt like he was a pushover, which was really weird to feel like that. It may just be, you know, the difference in time and age. I've learned a lot more. Granted, we didn't really employ any tactics at all throughout any of this playthrough, mostly because there's not a lot of tactics to be had, but yeah, it was a bit odd. But from here, we've got to take on Sabrina. However, before we get to Sabrina, we have to take on Team Rocket and Giovanni yet again. But before we get to Giovanni, MJTV spoils our fun of defeating Team Rocket and even Grunty Boy. Fighting our rival here in a few seconds, and we're at Silphco, so we're getting close to finishing out this and taking on Giovanni, and then we can move on to Sabrina from there. But first, we gotta fight our rival. Here we are. We're finally at the rival battle. I've been trying to figure this out for a while. It's been a long time since I played this. I couldn't remember where to go, and eventually I did stumble across the key card so that we could proceed. So now here we are for the rival battle, and this is the one that I maybe it's not this one yet. He's still only got 5 Pokemon, so he's gonna have his Pidgeotto, he's gonna have his Charizard, he's gonna have either Kadabra or Alakazam. And I'm trying to remember what all he has on his team if you take Bulbasaur. Because I know at one point he also gets an Execute, which I think we saw the Execute earlier. It's actually been a couple days since that last clip. I don't remember off the top of my head right this second. And so he's got Pidgeotto. It's a good thing I switched over to Sparks in the lead. So we should just trample his Pidgeotto finally. Or Pidgeot. Yep, there it goes. Pidgeot is down. And then next he's got Execute, which we are going to switch over to Trigger. And this is one of the reasons why I think you should have Charmander as your main. Technically, the Squirtle would actually be the best, because then you don't have to deal with 2 Psychic types on your rival's team. But there's only, at this point in the game, there's only 1 Fire type that you have access to. And depending on which game it is, in Red, it's Growlithe. In Blue, it's Vulpix. That's it. That's all you have access to at this fight. And if you take the Bulbasaur, he's got the Execute and the Kadabra, or Alakazam, which means that he's got 2 Psychics. And while it is a Grass type, this is all I've got for dealing with Grass, is a Growlithe that knows Ember. That is it. And it doesn't get Flamethrower for a good, long while still. I know that we can't find Flamethrower eventually, but I think I'm going to hold off on teaching it that, and we're just going to level this up till it gets Flamethrower. But this is it. This is all we have access to as far as fire. So this is not really a good thing. This has actually been kind of painful, especially trying to level him up, because he is kind of pitiful in this game, because most of his attacks are physical, and then he's only got Ember as a fire attack, which is it's nothing huge. And considering this is basically what you would have with like a baby Pokemon, it's like I'm sitting there sucking on my thumb with a Growlithe. But there you go, we did take that down, even though, you know, it is pretty pathetic to still be using Ember at this point. So Gyarados, we're going to switch into Sparks. just Thunderbolt it. It should go down in a single hit. Should. Doesn't mean it will. I absolutely should because I'm over-leveled for this fight. I actually did things out of order, which is fine because this whole section is just a slog to get through. Just one Team Rocket grunt after another. They all have different teams. Okay, there's the Alakazam. Now, this is one of the reasons why I would like to have some bigger Pokemon at this point. So hopefully Thunderbolt will do quite a bit of damage, maybe knock it out. No. Did over half, though. Confusion is going to do quite a bit, and a crit again. We are taking so many crits that it's ridiculous. I am tired of getting crits. So, there's your powerful Psychic. It went down 2 hits. Yes, I am aware we overleveled, but I'm trying to make a point on that. It is a Charizard now, so we're going to leave Sparks in, because it does have that lovely fire flying type. So, Thunderbolt should do quite a bit of damage to it. I don't know if it'll one-hit it. Well, there you go. It one-hit it. It O-code. Okay, there you go. And that right there is proof why I love having electrics on my team. And again, we didn't even need a grass type. We don't need a grass type. You do not need a grass type. Taking the Bulbasaur is the worst possible choice. Take that, MNJ. Now that you're out of my way, and now that all the rocket grunts are out of my way, let's go get Giovanni. Alright, so it wasn't too far ahead, but we are here at the Giovanni fight, and we're going to bring out Kenshin. He's going to be our lead Pokemon. He's just going to sweep him, because we have Earthquake. Just watch. This, honestly, isn't even going to be fair, to be honest. And in fact, I don't even have to use Earthquake here. Genghis-Khan. I use Switch. No, we're just going to Earthquake. Which is kind of bad because we're at the top of a very tall building. It didn't finish it off. We're not going to waste an Earthquake here. We're just going to double kick. And down goes the Genghis-Khan. So, explain to me why you would want a grass type here. So, Rhyhorn. Well, guess what? We're going to double kick. We don't need the grass type. We don't need the Bulbasaur. And technically, I probably should have just used Earthquake there. We probably would have KO'd it. Nope, we missed that time. It's going to stop. It's not going to do much. Yep, it's super effective, yep. And this is why I have different moves on Pokemon. Why I have different... Like, I cover a whole bunch. So, we got a Nidoking versus a Nidoqueen now. We're just gonna Earthquake this thing. It is gonna do quite a bit of damage. Oh, it's gonna OHKO it. Okay, cool. So, there you go. There goes Giovanni. With a Nidoking, using pretty much nothing but Earthquake and Double Kick. Okay, now that Team Rocket and Giovanni are out of our way, it's time to take on Sabrina for the 6th badge. And this is, quite honestly, the easiest battle I think I've ever had with Sabrina. Alright, so here we are. We're at the Sabrina fight. I've got Dave in the lead. We're just going to lead off with him and try to spam Dragon Rage as much as we can to try and take down her Pokemon. She does have a Kadabra leaving off, a Mr. Mime, a Venomoth for some reason. We're going to try and use Trigger on the Venomoth. That's probably where he's only going to be helpful. And then finally she has an Alakazam at level 43. I'm thinking maybe we'll try Sparks on the Alakazam. I do have Sakura set up to have Toxic, so maybe I will try and poison the Alakazam. If we can force like a few heals or something, maybe we'll get through the Alakazam. I don't know if this is going to work on the first try. We're going to go ahead and save, though. Save right there, and let's do this. Let's see if we can beat Sabrina on the first try. Hopefully we will. Psychic is overpowered in this, not because Psychic is overpowered, but because Psychic has no natural weaknesses in this. It was supposed to be Ghost, but a coding error, according to everybody, is what did that. And I forgot, it's Fin-Fang that has the Dragon Rage. So we're just gonna try and bubble and body slam this thing. Okay, so Bubble Beam's not gonna do too much. Let's try body slam. That was gonna recover for us. Great. So we're just gonna be wasting attacks on this thing. So body slam is gonna do a considerable amount more damage. We're just gonna try and use Bubble Beam on this. Psychic, it'll do a good chunk. It shouldn't be a big problem though. Yeah. And then down goes the Kadabra. So 1 down, 3 to go. And then up next is the Mr. Mime. We're just going to stay with Dave in there. We're going to try and body slam it again. And that should do considerable. Yep, it did a lot. It's going to do double slap. Hopefully it doesn't hit that many times. Another critical. We just keep getting critted all the time in this. Okay, so yeah, we just got hit by 2 double slaps. So yeah, there we go. Body slam, Mr. Mime is out. And then we're going to switch into Tigger for this. And we're going to hope that our Ember is going to be enough to take this thing out. Because again, like, it's so pathetic that this is what we have to use for our fire type. Instead of having a Charizard at this point. With potential to have Flamethrower already. Potential. It'd be a giant pain in the butt to get this early, but we got potential to have it. So he's gonna get hurt by the poison, which is fine. We should live this, and then an Ember should take it out. And then we're going to immediately switch out of this. I'm thinking, you know what, we're going to try Sakura. We're going to try and poison it. Because I did put Toxic on Sakura. Sakura, however you want to say it. And hopefully it doesn't OHKO. That is a real threat here, because Poison is weak to Psychic. Okay, so it didn't OHKO. Oh, great. It did get the confusion. We got the Toxic off. Okay, there's no way we don't survive this. I may need to just go ahead and pull Sakura out. It hurt itself in confusion. We're just going to go ahead and pull her out. We could do Fin-Fang with the Dragon Rage, or we could go into Sparks. We're going to try Dragon Rage on this. Basically, we want Poison to go off a few times before. Recover. I don't think that heals status. Yeah. So there's the ping from the poison. And Side Beam again. Hopefully we can get 1 or 2 Dragon Rages off. Or we might be able to just solo this thing with Fin-Fang here. I don't think it's going to be that huge of a threat. Okay, yeah, there we go. We just annihilated Sabrina. Oh, there you go, Mikey. There you go, John. Psychic is broken in Gen 1, huh? Right. Okay, so we should get Psychic from her, if I recall correctly. Obey up to level 70. I'm not too worried about that. We got a long way to go before we take on Blaine, though. We got the whole water route to do. TM46 is Psywave. Okay, I was wrong about that. Not Psychic. I don't know where we get Psychic, but there you go. On to Blaine, which is going to be a very, very long journey. I'll see you then. Okay, so I do have to clarify that back in Gen 1, special attack and special defense were one stat, and Alakazam has probably the most monstrous stat of any Pokemon except for Mewtwo. So him as a psychic type is actually a really big problem and a huge disadvantage to pretty much any other Pokemon out there. So it was really surprising to me that I just basically slapped her around for that entire thing. So yeah, well, that was just bizarre. From here we got to take on Blaine and Giovanni and then the Elite Four. So let's get on with the rest of the video. Alright, so here we are. We are at Blaine, gym number 7. We got Dave in the front, followed by Fin Fang. Sparks is probably not going to be very helpful here. Tigger is definitely not going to be helpful. And then we got Sakura and Kenshin is at a lovely level 50. So we should be able to go straight from this gym over to Giovanni and complete the gym challenge. And then it's just nothing but the Pokemon League at that point. Though I do believe there is one more battle with our rival, M&J TV, which is not really a thing. I just wanted to use their name simply because, we're showing that Bulbasaur is not necessary, especially on this fight. So let's just go ahead and go against Blaine and see how well we do here. All right. Yes, considering you better have Burn Heal. Let's go. Alright, Blaine, I've spent a lot of time leveling up over here, which means that I'm probably over-leveled for you. Yeah, level 42. Dave's 47. We're just going to go ahead and Bubble Beam. Hopefully this is either a one-shot or close to a one-shot. It's close to a one-shot. So I could probably do one Bubble Beam and then one Body Slam, and there we go. Growlithe is down. One down. I believe he's got 4 Pokemon total. Yeah, he's got 4. So next up is Ponyta. Or Ponyta. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing there. So, Ponyta, we're going to Bubble Beam it. And it's going to get pretty close to taking it down. It's going to use Stomp, that's fine. It's not going to do anything to us on the second go around. Body Slam, that one's out. And then Rapidash should be next, I think. Yeah, Rapidash. And then we go doing that again. Whoops. And Bolt Beam may be a 2-hit KO. Yeah, it's probably going to be 2 hits. And I don't think I'm going to change up my team for Giovanni. I think we're just going to keep it exactly how it is. I don't think any leveling is going to be necessary. The only thing I've got to do at all is get my flying Pokemon, my Pidgeot, or Pidgeotto actually, and fly over to Giovanni after this. There's probably going to be 2 or 3 hits here. Assuming that we live any attacks, but it shouldn't be that difficult. Blaine's pretty useless fire gym trainer. But yeah, there we go. Blaine is down, and we can move on to Giovanni from here. And I do believe that he gives us Does he give us Fire Blast? I want to say he gives us Fire Blast. Which I don't really care about because it's very low accuracy. Yeah, Fire Blast. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on over to... Let's move on over to the Giovanni gym battle fight. I'll see you there. Alright, with Blaine down, that leaves us with Giovanni, the final rival battle, and the Elite Four. So, from here, we are just going to show all the clips back to back to back, and I will see you at the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and enjoy. Alright, here we are. We are at Giovanni, so we're leading off this time with Dave again. He has gained a level because we did have to fight a couple things. So Dave is level 48, Finfang's 47, Sparks at 47, Tigger at 47, Sakura at 47, and Kenshin at 50. So here we go again, if I can push the right buttons. Yes, we know you're the evil mastermind behind Team Rocket. But this shouldn't really be any major concern. He is a ground type, which means he's weak to water. And, I mean, technically, Dave is not a water type, but we did give it Bubble Beam, so it should pretty much cause a lot of damage very quickly. So, Bubble Beam, Oko, next. Who you got? So, Dug Trio. This probably won't one-shot Dug Trio. Yeah, that's... First thing it did is dig, so it does outspeed. Critical hit. Not too worried this... Gonna do a ton of damage. So, we're good there. Even if we weren't good, we got our backup in, Oh, Nidoqueen, okay. We got our backup in Kenshin, and he is pretty much going to destroy anything because of Earthquake. So we're going to body slam this, see... It did a decent amount of damage. I'm not too worried if Dave goes down because we got Finfang in reserve. And Finfang's kit is almost identical. The only difference is that Dave, we still got agility on it. The Finfang's got Dragon Rage, Water Gun, Hydro Pump, and Bite. Alright, so that's down. We're on to the Nidoking. And then the final thing that we're going to have to deal with is a Rhyhorn. Should only take like a couple body slams, and we'll get the Nidoking down too. Point attack shouldn't do much, or it's going to finish it off. Okay, that's fine. Because in this generation, like, Nidoking is actually pretty dang powerful. And it's only in Generation 1. I know Mikey later says it is better in, like, Gen 5 or something. Or is it Gen 4? It may have been Gen 4. And I completely disagree. I think Nidoking loses a lot of power after Gen 1. It's not as viable later on. But here we go, his final Pokemon, a Rhydon. I'm just going to use Water Gun. It's going to do quite a bit of damage. Or it's going to Oko. Okay. I didn't see that coming. I figured it was going to get really low. I didn't think it was going to Oko it. But yeah, we didn't need a grass type at all. We've gone the entire gym challenge without a grass type. You don't need one. The only things that grass are good against, you're better off using other Pokemon. Grass is just not that viable to me. So there you go, that's the entire gym challenge. And up next we've got the final trial of our rival, or the final encounter before the Pokemon League, where we end up fighting him at the very end of it. And that's pretty much it at that point. We're getting Fissure here. I don't think I'm going to use Fissure at all. It's a single attack Oko move, guaranteed to KO an opponent if it lands. Its accuracy is absolutely horrible. I'm not even going to bother using it. I'd rather use Earthquake because it's guaranteed to hit. It's not as powerful, but it is guaranteed to hit as long as it's a land-based Pokemon. So, let me get on to it and we'll bring you back in. Alright, and here we are at the final rival battle before the league. Now, it is important to note that you will go through the league, and then you will fight your rival at the end after you've beaten the league. And it's right here that I want to take a second to talk about his teams and kind of point out something here. So, I've got it pulled up. The only time he does not have 2 Psychics on his team is if you go with the Squirtle. Otherwise, he's going to have Execute and then later Executor on his team along with Alakazam, okay? So if you're that worried about Psychics, you don't want to take either the Charmander or the Bulbasaur, because he'll have 2 Psychic team on his team at that point. So let's go over his team. So if you take the Squirtle, he's going to have Pidgeotto, Alakazam, Rhyhorn, Growlithe, Gyarados, and Venusaur. Later, those all get upgraded, so Rhyhorn becomes Rhydon, Growlithe becomes Arcanine. You get where that's kind of going, but at this point in the game, at this battle, if you take the Bulbasaur, he's got Pidgeotto, Alakazam, Rhyhorn, Gyarados, Execute, and Charmander. Sorry, it says Charmander. That's incorrect. That is Charizard. Yeah. And if you take the Charmander at the beginning of the game, he's going to have a Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, Alakazam, Rhyhorn, Execute, Growlithe, and Blastoise. So, it doesn't matter which way you look at it. Like, realistically, the best choice actually in this game is actually Squirtle. You can't change that. The best one is actually Squirtle. It's not Bulbasaur. Especially with some of the matchups in the game. Like, the Squirtle is actually just way better. The idea that your partner Pokemon should be the most helpful in the first 2 gym battles is absolutely ridiculous to me. Because really, you want it to be more helpful at the end. Later in the game. Where you've been through everything. You've leveled up quite a bit. Because as of right now, to deal with that Execute and its Grass type, the only thing I have is a Growlithe with Ember. If I had taken the Charmander, I would probably have a Charizard with Flamethrower at this point. And that's pretty much going to destroy that thing. So, really, that's the only time that I'm just like, I don't even worry about the Psychic. In fact, I don't even worry about the Psychics at all in this. We're going to try this, though, and hopefully we get through this. I've got Sparks in the lead. He should be able to take out the Pidgeot fairly quickly. I'm banking on the idea that he's going to take out the Alakazam pretty easily, though the Alakazam could be the only real problem, because Alakazam in this is actually very powerful. It's not as broken as I think everybody believes, but it is, like, not balanced very well. They do balance it out in later games, but here, not so much. Alakazam is really my only worry right now. So it went off with a quick attack. We're going to Thunderbolt it. And maybe one-shot it. Okay, yes, it is going to be a one-shot. Okay. I do want to make sure that I keep Sparks. He's going to be my backup for dealing with the Charizard. That is tripping me up really bad that Wicked Cerebee's got that incorrectly. Oh, you brought out the Rhyhorn. I didn't read that correctly. They very rarely go in a different order. Unaffected by the Horn Drill, that's good. That's another thing that's incorrect. It doesn't show that he has Horn Drill. It shows that he has Horn Attack. So that's incorrect. Here comes the Execute, and like I said, the only thing I've got is Trigger with Ember. Which kind of annoys me, but it's the best that I've got. We got Ember, and that's it. And again, like your choices of fire types in this is just so limited that really you should take the Charmander at the beginning. Even if it's weaker against the first two, it gets better later on. It's not the best, but it gets better, especially when you need fire types. We were able to get through that. I'm kind of surprised. So next we are going into Sparks again. I don't bother with grass against water. Electric is much better, especially against Gyarados, because it's got 4 times weakness to electric. So there we go with that. That should one-shot it. And depending on which... Actually, he's only got his Alakazam and his Charizard left, so we're just gonna keep Sparks in. I'm kind of surprised he's using this one last. They've got it in the wrong order. So, Thunderbolt, this should do quite a bit of damage. I don't think it's gonna OHKO. Yeah. It did a little less than half. That Side Beam's gonna be painful, though. Okay, not as painful as I thought. Hit with another Thunderbolt, and almost down. But it's gonna recover. Okay. Thunderbolt again. Please don't recover. It's gonna reflect. I don't care. Okay, so the Alakazam didn't even prove to be worrisome at all. Okay, so up next we got the Charizard. Somebody really needs to tell them to fix that. I didn't even realize that it says Charmander and it's a Charizard there. It is a flying type at this point, so Spark should do quite a bit of damage to it. And it OHKO'd it. Okay, cool. That was simple. That was surprisingly easy. Sparks almost handled his entire team. The only one he couldn't have handled is the Rhyhorn and the Execute. But Sparks almost handled the entire team by himself. Oh, we got Pin Missile finally. That's actually a good thing. We need that for later. Yep, let's get rid of the Tackle. And we got Pin Missile. So there you go. That is the final rival battle. And up next is the Elite Four, along with the final battle with the rival, the champion battle. So here we are, and I've got a lot of leveling to do because the minimum, the very first battle is actually at like level 55, and it gets higher from there. And I do believe the first one is Bruno. I don't have that pulled up right this second, but let me get to the grinding. That's going to take a while, and hopefully tomorrow I can wrap this up and start working on the video the rest of the week. Alright, so we are at the final challenge of the game, the Pokemon League, the Elite Four, followed by the championship battle with our rival. And we're going into this a little bit under level for me. Like, this seems a little bit weak, but everything I'm reading online, because I'm having to like refresh my memory on stuff, says that this kind of level, around this level, should be absolutely fine to take on the Elite Four. So we got Sparks at level 48, we got Tigger at level 48, we got Dave at 49, Finfang at 49, Sakura at 49, and finally Kenshin at level 50. And Kenshin is probably going to clean up quite a bit of the Pokemon League. Now, I'm not exactly happy with the levels, but more importantly, I'm not happy with the items. I seem to remember that the final place you can buy items in the game, like right before the Pokemon League, had ethers and elixirs. Clearly they don't, because I only have 1 ether, 2 max ethers, and 1 elixir. I could have sworn that somewhere in the game you could buy those. I absolutely remember having a ton of these when this game came out and I got to the Elite Four. This doesn't seem right, but looking at Cerebi, apparently ethers and elixirs, you can't even buy them in any game until Black and White. So that doesn't seem right to me, but whatever, we can't buy them. I definitely remember having a lot more of these for this fight than I do right now, but that's all we got. So hopefully this goes well. I'm still a little bit worried about our levels, but it has been a minute. We're like very under level. Like Lorelei starts off with like level 55 Pokemon. So the fact that we don't even have half of our team at 50 worries me a little bit. Though really the thing that worries me more is our lack of elixirs and ethers, because I remember having a ton of these to get through this and restoring PP to all the Pokemon's moves constantly throughout it, but I don't have access to that, so we're just gonna go with it. We're gonna go and we're gonna do this, and hopefully we can do this all in one go. So first up is Lorelei. She has water Pokemon. That is why Sparks is in the lead for this. He should be able to basically just absolutely destroy her by himself. And let's find out, because that's what should happen. And this is why I use an electric type over using a grass type, because it's so much more effective. And plus it covers a wider range of Pokemon as well. So, here we go. We're just going to start Thunderbolting and hope this goes well. Because like I said, everything online says that I'm at a perfect level. I don't feel like I am, but... Oh, perfect. So, you're going to make me use more than one Thunderbolt, like, right off the bat. I do need to keep Sparks in fighting condition for our rival, because he's going to have a couple that we need to be able to use. And you're going to use the Super Potion. Great. We're just going to go ahead and Thunderbolt again. We're going to end up using way too many Thunderbolts. And there's no healing in between this. So if I run out of any kind of items, I'm in trouble. So Cloyster up next. We are going to keep Sparks out there for Cloyster. Thunderbolt should nearly one-shot it. Or it's going to OHKO it. Okay, cool. Did not expect that, considering the level difference. Slowbro, again, it should be a major hit. I'm not expecting an OHKO, but it could. Well, and there you go, it OHKO'd. So, 2 more Pokemon with Lorelei. We got Jinx up next. Yeah, we're just gonna keep Sparks in there. It's not going to be the perfect matchup. Oh, we get the Paralyze off. Well, not going to mean much. Body Slam on us. That did over half damage. Sparks cannot take too many more hits. We're going to have to heal up Sparks. Sparks leveled. Cool, he's level 50 now. That's perfect. And finally, Lorelei's Lapras. Again, I'm not expecting an OHKO here, but it could happen. Okay, not quite. It did quite a bit of damage. Hydro Pump misses good. I am just going to go ahead and Thunderbolt, and that should finish off Lorelei. Okay, perfect. So Sparks swept Lorelei. And then we are going to switch our team around a little bit. I'm going to heal Sparks. Okay, there we go. There's Sparks all healed up. And on to Bruno, but before I get to Bruno, we're going to switch in Kenshin. And Kenshin's pretty much just going to stay there because he's going to be our ace in the hole against pretty much everybody after this, except for our rival. I am not too worried about you, Bruno. Just going to start off with Onyx. Level 53. Okay, that's not going to be as much damage as I thought it would be. So let's just go ahead and start using Earthquake. And there we go. I just wanted to see what the double kick, because this is the whole reason why we have double kick, is for him specifically. Earthquake against Hitmonchan. Should do big damage to him too. Not quite a single... There he goes, Hitmonchan is down, and man, my nose is itching so bad right now. If you see that's what's going on. I'm just scratching my nose. Then Hitmonlee, this should do quite a bit of damage to it as well. I don't think it'll OHKO, but yeah, pretty dang close to it. And just to save us on moves, unless he heals. Okay, he didn't heal. Horn attack should finish it off. Boom, there goes Hitmonlee. And up next, another Onyx. Nope, I'm just gonna keep Kenshin in there. And Earthquake again. Should be pretty close. Yeah, almost. X defend, good. He's not gonna do anything. And we're gonna finish it off with a double kick. Perfect. Through to level 51. And then he's going to bring in his Machamp. And we should be able to just Earthquake this thing down. It's probably going to take 2 or 3 Earthquakes to kill it. Submission, that's going to do quite a bit. Hit with recoil, that may have worked in our favor. We may only that one earthquake. Yep, there we go. 2 earthquakes took it down thanks to that recoil damage it took. So there's Bruno. Bruno is down now. We gotta heal up Kenshin. And now here is the only thing that I'm actually concerned about. And the only reason I am really concerned about this is because we only have, I think it's 10 PP on Ice Beam. And Ice Beam is actually our ace in the hole for both Agatha and Lance. So hopefully this works in our favor. Because if we can't take them all out with just a couple of Ice Beams, then we're going to be in trouble. But because they are poison types, we shouldn't have to worry about any kind of poison damage either, because Kenshin's going to be immune to them. So Gengar right off the bat. And as I said, we're just going to spam Ice Beam. That's worrisome though. How much is Nightshade going to do? It did quite a bit. Oh, no, Ice Beam is not going to do as much as I thought. We'll have to get somebody else in here and do some damage to these guys. Because nothing else Kenshin has is going to affect them. The only thing we can use on them is Ice Beam. Golbat, yes, we will switch. We switch to Sparks. Okay, O code. Nice. Haunter. Like, we could use Fin Fang here and potentially just use Dragon Rage. It should be effective here. My main worry here is that we use up too many Ice Beams. Nightshade. Okay, almost. That's not good. I mean, it should be fine, unless she does that. We're still good, though. We're still good. Okay, it did get the Dream Eater. That's actually a good thing. Now we're also confused. We got through the confusion. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Not enough to kill, but Super Potion again. Okay, didn't get through the confusion that time. And then Nightshade again. We should live it. Okay, we got through the confusion that time. Dragon Rage. We're going to end up using up all of our Dragon Rages. Yeah, might as well. Let's see if we get through the confusion. Yeah, we got through it. Haunter should go down, and now she should have just one more Gengar. Oh no, we got two more. Okay, so Gengar and Arbok. Arbok. Yeah, we'll just keep Fin Fang in there. Not confused anymore. We'll see how many Dragon Rages we can get off. Fin Fang may go down at some point here. Acid. Yeah, there goes Fin Fang. I kind of figured that was coming, but it's fine. We've still got plenty of Pokemon. We got revives for the next one, and I feel like let's get Sakura in here, just because she hasn't been out yet. Just try to Mega Punch this thing. Didn't do as much damage as I would have liked, but of course Mega Punch misses because it does not have 100% accuracy. And there we go, there goes the Arbok. And then finally a Gengar. And yes, we absolutely have to switch because Sakura has nothing it can hit it with. We're gonna bring it Dave here. We did get Dragon Rage on Dave, so we're gonna use a few Dragon Rages on him. The only reason we're really using Dragon Rage is the guaranteed 40 damage. It's never going to crit, it's never going to be bigger, it's just going to be guaranteed 40 damage. And Gengar is actually kind of tanky, so it's probably the best option to try and whittle down his health. Okay, we didn't get through the confusion. Nightshade again. And again, we're not getting through the confusion. We may end up losing Dave here. Okay, no more confusion for now. Are we gonna live this? I don't think we'll live it. Yep, I didn't think so. So, Gengar's pretty low. We'll bring in Kenshin and try to Ice Beam it. we are going to have to use one of our ethers, unfortunately. Because we really need that ice beam for Lance. Oh, it wasn't a... Toxic won't work. Get through the confusion. Yes. Ice beam and down goes Gengar. Agatha is now completed. Do some rearranging real quick for the next battle. We only have one max revive. I'm not going to use that just yet. We still got the full restores if we need them. Alright, so the only other thing I want to do is we're going to use this on Kenshin to restore Ice Beam. And I think Sparks should be good on Thunderbolts for a minute. It's only got 5. Let's get through Lance first. Alright, here we go with Lance. I think he's gonna lead off with his Gyarados, but I'm not entirely sure. Even if he doesn't, we should be able to get through at least one Dragonair with Sparks. Yeah, he's leading off with Gyarados, so that's good. It's very good for us. Oh, and code. I wasn't expecting that. It is 4 times weak to thunder, or to electricity, so that's good. It's gonna bring out Dragonair. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring out our Dragonair. Because the only thing that's really good against a dragon is dragon, so. But I am planning on just using Dragon Rage. And it's going to do the same thing. This is going to come down to who's tankier, because he's a higher level. He's going to win that matchup, but I want to try and avoid using up as much of the Ice Beam as possible. Ah, okay. And just because I don't... Actually, we're just going to go ahead... We're going to do this. And my reasoning is... We have revives. I might as well try to get some damage in and use a revive afterwards. Okay, so Dave is down. We're going to bring in Fin Fang. And we're basically just going to do the same thing. We only have 2 Dragon Rages left on Fin Fang, but it should work just the same. As long as he doesn't hit us with another full restore, or a max potion. So there goes the second Dragonair. We don't have any more Dragon Rages on Fin Fang. Sakura's not going to work that well against it, but I'm just going to go ahead and try to spam Mega Punch on this thing. Actually, we're going to go with Toxic. And then start Mega Punching it. Couple of agilities, that's fine. I'm not too worried about that. We got a crit off, that's good. Okay, there we go. Down goes that Dragonair. It actually worked out a lot better than I thought it would. Aerodactyl, we'll go ahead and switch into Kenshin for this. And we are going to use the Ice Beam on him. Oh, right off the bat with the Supersonic. Okay, we did get off the Ice Beam. Nice. Oh, and we got the freeze. Nice. That is awesome. Let's get through. Okay, we got through the confusion. So, 2 hits on the Aerodactyl, and down goes the Aerodactyl. Nice. That is lovely to see. Especially that freeze. That was good timing. No, we're gonna keep Kenshin in there and try and use up these Ice Beams. Can we get through? We got through the confusion. And Dragonite's going to be deathly allergic to the ice. And O-code the Dragonite. I wasn't expecting that. Especially considering the level difference. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're through Lance. M&J TV, not my real rival. I just thought it would be interesting because this whole challenge is based on him saying that Bulbasaur is the best. I've got more to say about that, but we're going to say that after we are actually done with this challenge. Let's get Dave back into the fight. We're probably not even going to use Dave. Because the 2 main that we're probably going to use here is we're going to use Sparks on probably half of his team. Then we're going to use Tigger on the Executor. And that's probably about it. As long as we can get through the Alakazam with under-level Pokemon, we should be good. Alakazam is probably the only one I'm worried about. Alright, here we go. The final battle of the game. The final fight. The final challenge. It's the final countdown. Yes. Let's do this. Alright. So, we got Sparks in the lead. He's been leading off Pidgeotto. That's what I'm expecting. Or Pidgeot. We're 10 levels below, but I didn't heal his Thunderbolts. That may be a problem. Or not. Okay, as long as he doesn't potion here, we should be able to quick attack. Okay, quick attack's gonna take out the Pidgeot. So down goes Pidgeot, and he's bringing in Alakazam. Alakazam's the only one I'm worried about. We do have Pin Missile. Pin Missile is not going to be... We'll see how much... Ooh. That did like a third of health damage. How much is the Psychic gonna do? Psychic did a bit, so we're probably gonna lose Sparks. Which is not a good thing. Because we still gotta get through his Gyarados. Okay, that's not good. Let's go ahead and bring in Fin Fang. We'll try to use... No, we don't have any more Dragon Rages. Let's just hope we get the... Hope we get the Hydro Pump up. And we don't. Okay, cool. So let's go with Dave. And it's just going to be dumb and use Reflect both times instead of attacking. Okay, cool. So that will take out him. We do have the problem of his Gyarados. Who's he going for? Rhydon? No, we're going to keep Dave in there because Dave has our water attack. It was almost an Oko. It was pretty close. Now, what are you going for? You're going to go for Gyarados, or you're going to go for Execute? Alright. Ember one-shot it last time. I don't think it's going to one-shot this time because of the level difference. Oh, it didn't even... Wow. Well, we're going to do as much damage to it as we can. We're not going to get through it very easily. That is kind of worrisome. Luckily, it's not going for any kind of psychic attacks. I don't think it's got any, though. Alright, we still got its Gyarados to put up with. I'm going to keep Stalker in reserve. We'll try and poison it and see if we can get through that fight. We don't have any of that left, so we're just going to have to Body Slam. Body Slam's not doing a whole lot of damage. Okay, this is not good. Him having two Psychics is problematic. So far, we haven't seen any of that psychic attack with him. Okay, so there it goes. It's down. We are going to switch. We'll go into Sakura. We'll try to Toxic this thing. Of course it gets off his Hydro Pump. Again, there's a huge level difference, so... Okay, that's a problem. Is No, Earthquake's not even going to work on that. And a one-shot Kenshin, right. I really needed Sparks to take on this thing. We're not going to win this battle. There's no way I'm going to be able to do enough damage to Gyarados. We did get it paralyzed. It's gonna Dragon Rage, and that's it. Alright, so I gotta bring you guys back in because I was gonna try and get back to the rival battle for the champion, and Agatha just absolutely rolled me just now. She literally she used Hypnosis, Dream Eater, Hypnosis, Dream Eater, Hypnosis, Dream Eater, crit, 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 just one after the other, just absolutely rolled me. So anybody thinking that the AI in this is pathetic? Alright, we're back at Agatha again. This time I'm gonna record just to make sure in case she rolls me. Because that was infuriating. I cannot believe that happened. Like, she just absolutely destroyed me. So here we go again with Agatha. Like I said, she's the only one that I'm worried about. And most people, like, they whine and complain about Psychic. But need I remind you that the only way you can hit Ghost at all is if you have a special type move. Sakura, for instance, on our team, can't even touch any of her Pokemon except for the Golbat. Literally cannot touch any of them. So here we're going to go again. We're just going to use Dave. We're going to spam Dragon Rage and hopefully get through this. This time she's not starting off with Hypnosis. So that's good. I mean, that was ridiculous. Like, she just absolutely rolled me. She's not going to do it again, apparently. Like, now the camera's on. Okay, okay, didn't get the Hypnosis off this time. Like, I literally did not get past her Gengar. Okay, here we go with the switching again. Dragon Rage is gonna hit that. I'm gonna switch to Bubble Beam on this thing. And of course, it's gonna use Confuse Ray. We get through the Confuse, we don't get through the Confuse. Haze. Why? Okay. And Wing Attack's gonna do quite a bit of damage. We should live that one barely. If it doesn't, okay. We're just gonna switch. I'm not using any healing potions this time because if we run out of healing potions and we're out of money, we're going to be screwed later on when I think that it will be possible. One of the biggest problems with our rival earlier was just the level difference. The level difference is what really killed us there. Okay, the Golbat's down. Just going to bring back out the Gengar, probably. Her first one. I am not going to learn Thunder. Simply because of how inaccurate it is. Switching back to the first Gengar. Yeah, Sakura's absolutely useless. We can't even touch anything with Sakura. And Tigger is, for a fire type, it's just, we needed the Charmander. You need to have the Charizard. It's just, there's no getting around that. You have to have that. Because any other fire types that you could possibly get in the game just cannot handle the Executor. Execute. Okay, switching to a Hunter. We're just going to keep in. We're actually getting through her this time. She didn't roll us as hard as she did last time. And hopefully we can get through her, get through Lance, and then I'll bring you guys back in when we get back to the rival. Though, that's just subjective at this point. Actually, I may just keep recording, just in case we get rolled by Lance, too. Getting through Lorelei and Bruno is like nothing. They're like the easiest of the three of them. Okay, there goes that. Oh yeah, the Arbok. I was trying to do this with you. We don't really have anything that's super effective against the Arbok either. The only reason I'm bringing out Tigger for the Arbok is to try to get him experience, get him leveled up. Because, as I stated, like, with fire types in the game, you're very, very limited on them. And by this point, you should have a fire type that has flamethrower. And the only way you're doing that is if you take the Charmander at the very beginning of the game. Because Growlithe doesn't learn Flamethrower until like level 50 or something? It may have been 50 or 55. Okay, so it didn't live that. I should have pulled him sooner. I can't use Sakura. She literally can't touch any of these. Bring in Kenshin. Try to Ice Beam it. Of course you're going to Potion. Just Earthquake the dang thing. Let's get this over with. Okay, there goes that. And no, we're not going to switch. Toxic isn't going to work. And that's the other problem with the ghost types. Like, Gengar is such a tanky Pokemon that I've never understood why people were complaining about the Psychics. Because it's really Gengar and the ghost types that are the problem. Because again, you can't physically touch them. You have to have special moves. At least with the Psychic types, you can use pretty much any move you want on them and cause damage. Ghost, not so much. Okay, we're gonna lose Kenshin here. Unless I swap. We don't really have anything to swap into. We'll try swapping into Sparks. As long as she doesn't Potion, I think we should be able to get through this Gengar. And there's the Potion. Come on. Almost. Yeah, that's a problem. I really need those Thunderbolts. We're dealing with a rival. Okay, we got through Agatha this time. We did take some big hits there, but we got through her this time. I really don't want to use potions and stuff, but we may have a better shot at getting through this time. One, we did keep Dave. Dave did not get knocked out. Yeah, we really don't have a whole lot of healing items. So if we don't get through this time, I may have to spend some time just leveling until we can get through it. Okay, so we let off with this Dragonair last time. We're just gonna have to wait till the Gyarados comes out. So we're gonna put Kenshin in the front. Alright. Round 2, Lance. Though you're not the problem. The rival is the problem. Oh, you let off with the Gyarados. Water flying. Earthquake's not gonna work on him. I guess we're just gonna have to... Yeah, we're just gonna have to try and Pwn Attack to get through him. It's not gonna do as much damage as I was hoping. Hydro Pump, that's not good. Oh, don't even. Really? BS. Alright, Sparks. I don't see us getting through this. I really don't. That Oko that probably really just messed me up pretty good there. Are you just gonna keep spamming agility? Okay, we're through that. Another Dragonair. No, we're gonna try and do the same thing. Just use Toxic. And you're gonna start spamming agility again. Okay, interesting. Why are you just spamming agility? What is going on with the AI right now? You one-shotted Kenshin, and now you're just, like, doing nothing? I don't know if Sparks is even gonna hurt that. It is a flying type, but I believe it's also a rock type. We'll see. Oh, well, yeah, one shot of it. Okay, that works for me. And this is what I wish I had Kenshin for, so we're just gonna go back into Sakura. And we're gonna Toxic and then just Scratch. I may even try to use Mega Punch here. We'll see if we can get off some Mega Punches. And Agility again. Like, what is the AI doing? Oh, BS, it doesn't affect Dragonite. There we go. Let's see if we can get some Mega Punches in. What? Its health barely even moved. I was about to say, that's a stronger attack than Scratch. Oh, of course it's going to use a Hyper Potion. What? It's because of the barriers. It's building up defense. Duh. Boom, down goes Dragonite. Alright, back to our rival. I want to see if we can get the poison off on Alakazam this time. Though the problem is still trying to get through the stupid Executor. I think I'm going to use that single Mash Revive I have on Genshin. And then, because we're pretty much just going to have to do this. But I swear that there are more of those. You can go and buy them somewhere, but Sarah B says that there isn't. I went around to every single shop. There are no more ethers and max elixirs or elixirs themselves. I seem to remember having tons of those, though. So we're going to switch with Kenshin. We're going to start off with Sparks. Sparks is going to take care of the Pidgeot. Alakazam, if it comes out second again, we're going to switch to Sakura, try to poison it, and then just go from there. Tigger is just kind of pathetic, but we don't have a good fire type to take care of the Executor. However the heck you say that. It's starting to not sound like a real word to me. So, let's try this again. We finally made it back to him. I still can't believe what happened to Kenshin there. Just one-shot it right off the bat. By a water type, and it said it's super effective. Alright, Pidgeot. Sparks is here. Sparks is a heck of a lot stronger than the last time you two fought. This should OHKO. Yep, there we go. One hit KO. Are you going to go into Alakazam right off the bat? Going into Alakazam, okay. Now, I imagine it's probably going to outspeed Sakura. I've just got to hope it doesn't. Because the only thing we're going to try and do here is we're going to try and get Toxic off. It's going to use Psychic. That's probably going to OHKO. I doubt we survive this. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm just going to try and bring Dave in here. And we're just going to see how many Dragon Rages we can get off on it. It's probably not going to be that many. I think we might get 2. Nope, we're only gonna get the 1. Kenshin's not gonna do us any good here, but we'll try. I'm thinking like maybe we can get an Earthquake off, but it's gonna outspeed. It's gonna use Psybeam. Psybeam might OHKO, I'm not sure. No, okay. I doubt we OHKO with Earthquake, but... Okay, we did. We got it down. That's out of the way. We're gonna leave Kenshin in. We're gonna try and Earthquake this again. Okay, no. It's going to Leer, that's fine. We can take that. Not Confusion, more Earthquake. Maybe OHKO. There is a big level difference there. No, pretty dang close though. Fury attack? Maybe. Nope, definitely not living through that. Alright, let's get Fin Fang in there. That's pretty much what Fin Fang is meant to take on. Okay, down goes the Rhydon. Now they execute, which is pretty much the only one I'm worried about. Like, my only real hope here is that we get a burn. That's not good. Yep, because we don't have a good fire type, that's the problem. We may not get past the Executor. And it missed. It's gonna Hypnosis, that's not good. We need you to wake up. Barrage is fine because it's not a whole lot of damage coming in. We need him to wake up and start spamming Dragon Rage again. I'm literally down to the only two Pokemon that are not capable of even fighting this thing. Alright, so now we got Gyarados and Charizard left, and that's it. Maybe we can get through this with Sparks. Maybe. Because they're both gonna be weak to Sparks. Okay, so OHKO on the Gyarados. That's good. That's a really good sign. And I doubt this OHKO's because of the level difference. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. As long as we can live the Fire Blast, we will take it out with the... We're not living the Fire Blast. Oh, we are. Barely. Boom! There you go. Holy mackerel. We got through it. We are the Pokemon champion here. Oh my gosh. We had a lot of, like, really bad things happen there. In multiple instances, we just had really bad luck. But we also had some really good luck. The fact that Lance's Dragonairs and Dragonite just kept using agility, like, that was a stroke of good luck. I mean, all we had to do was just sit there and spam attacks at that point. But yeah, wow. That was frustrating. Especially that second match against Agatha. She just rolled me so hard. And like I said, people complain about the psychic types, but they don't realize how problematic the ghost types are in this game. They are a much bigger threat, in my opinion. The only real thing with the psychic types is that Alakazam is a busted Pokemon back then. It's not necessarily the psychic typing, technically, because pretty much anything will hit them. The real problem is that Alakazam's stats made him, like, really super powerful, because his special stat was so high, and his speed stat was so high. He's a very fast, very hard-hitting Pokemon. The other psychics, not so much. When people complain about the psychic types in Gen 1, it's mostly because, one, yes, they don't really have a weakness other than Bug, and Bug is probably one of the worst types in all of Pokemon. But the other problem is that they don't have a weakness. A real, like, there's nothing really good to go against them. And if you try to use a Psychic against a Psychic, it resists its own damage type, so it's not very helpful. Then there's the fact that the only way you can get an Alakazam is by trading, so you have to have somebody to trade with. Or you have to have 2 copies of the game and 2 Game Boys. This is obviously an emulator on the PC, but that's just how I feel about it. Like, I think Psychic gets way too much credit for being way too powerful, and that's not actually true. The real threat in these games is actually the Ghost, because you can't touch them. You have to have very specific movesets to take on a Ghost type. If you don't have very specific moves, you're screwed. As far as the Psychic types, it's pretty much just comes down to you gotta have bigger, stronger attacks than they do. That's it. It doesn't even matter what the attack is. Against the Ghost types, it does matter. It has to be a special move. And like I said, Sakura there, without any kind of special moves, can't even touch the Ghost. Like, all it pops up and says is, it does not affect Ghost. That's it. But I've got more to share in a minute on that, about the whole which starter you should take. We've said a little bit about that, but yeah, there you go. We are done. We have beat the Elite Four. We've beat our rival without using a starter, specifically taking Bulbasaur and then tossing it aside, because Bulbasaur and grass types are worthless. I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, there you go. There's a playthrough of Pokemon Red, taking Bulbasaur and then throwing it aside, because grass sucks. I don't know how else to put that. Like, grass is, in my opinion, the worst type to actually use as a starter. It doesn't matter which game it is. And that is, again, as I've stated in other videos, it is because of its coverage. It covers only water, ground, and rock. That is it. That's all it covers. You can cover water with an electric type, and that also gives you the bonus of covering flying types as well. And then for the rock and for the ground, you can take a water type that will cover both of those, and fire. Fire being one of the most devastating types in the entire game as far as attack power, regardless if we're talking physical or special. It just kind of depends on the particular Pokemon. So, grass starters, in my opinion, they are the worst. They are not worth taking. You could take a grass starter at any game, throw it aside, and never have to worry about it. you don't need the grass ones. You don't need any of the grass Pokemon in the game. They have some uses for special reasons, such as having like any of the powders, like sleep powder, poison powder, or paralyzed powder. But I would rather have something else. Like with electric, you can cover the paralyzed there. With some of the bugs, for instance, we took the Butterfree at the very beginning of the playthrough. It does have all the powders. Apparently not in red, but it does learn them all. And then there's other things that you can do otherwise. Like one of my favorite things to do is for sleeping, I prefer using like a Gallade or something. Specifically, I use a Gallade for catching Pokemon. So Hypnosis plus False Swipe, good setup to go with right there as far as that is concerned. But yeah, I just wanted to do this to prove a point that Bulbasaur really isn't the best one to take, even though Mikey says that it is. It's not really. Pretty much the best one is actually probably Blastoise. Statistically speaking, Blastoise is a lot better to have. It has a wide move pool that allows for both defense and offense, whereas Bulbasaur and Venusaur doesn't really have any defense, and it's only got like moderate level offense. Like it's in the middle on both categories, which means that it 9 times out of 10 it will lose to the other two Pokemon. Charizard has the best offense ability, but unfortunately it doesn't have the defense at all. So Blastoise ends up just destroying it. Yeah, like if you go and you look at the numbers and everything, like Blastoise is actually the best one out of the three for the Kanto region for the original 3 starters. And I can't say it enough. Like, don't take the Bulbasaur. Like, it is bad to take. And the whole concept that Mikey is like, the more useful a starter is in the first 2 or 3 gyms, the better it is. I'm on the exact opposite end of that. I think a Pokemon as a starter is more helpful towards the end of the game because you spent a lot of time with this. If you're taking that same Pokemon and throwing it into the box for something else at the end of the game, why did you waste all that experience on it? Like you could have had something else leveling up throughout the entire game. The starter gyms really aren't necessary for gauging how good a starter Pokemon is or how effective it is. Really, you want something that is going to last you throughout the playthrough. And this is subjective to each and every single game. So, yeah, that's just where I want to leave you guys at. And I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did enjoy this, please leave a like. And if you really enjoyed like watching me play through the classic red and blue Pokemon, specifically red, think about subscribing and we'll do some more. I've got other ideas for things, and I do have a few more emulator games that we could potentially do, though I'm going to make it a challenge for anybody that watches this because we are struggling here on YouTube to get any kind of traction on anything. And the only challenge is I will do the very next game, which is Gold and Silver. I will play Silver all the way through, do a full playthrough of that. But you guys have to get this video up to 2,000 views. That's the goal I'm going to set for everybody. If you want to see me do a playthrough of Pokemon Silver, you got to get this video over 2,000 views. I have some that are up to 1,000. Not that many. A lot of them are in like the 20 to 50 range as far as views. So I'm setting kind of a very high goal for this one. If you want to see a full playthrough of Silver on my channel, you got to work with me and get it up to 2,000 views. You do 2,000 views, I'll do another playthrough game. But until then, guys, take care of each other, and God bless. I will see you later. Bye for now, and thanks for watching.